Cześć, witajcie moi kochani, witam bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym epizodzie Zagrajmy w Disco Elysium. Witam, zdróweczko was pytam, hejka. Na czym my skończyliśmy? Na wejściu do ciężarówki.
This green fowl, 𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗁, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Podziwiaj plakaty.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Przyjrzyj się rozkładówce.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. This is 𝗳𝗏𝗄𝗏, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
Co się z nią stało?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too.
Dość już tych plakatów.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Przyjrzyj się radiu.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Na co komuś tyle stacji radiowych?
For contacting an entire fleet of florrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
Możemy zrobić coś z tym radiem?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Przyjrzyj się pedałom.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
Kurde, na biurku mam jakieś smugi od czegoś. Od oleju? Ale skąd olej? Urysowałem kubkiem? Nie wiem. Dziwne. Dobra, o czym my tutaj?
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Zdaje się, że kierowca przykleił do pedału gazu kawałek papieru ściernego, żeby poprawić przyczepność.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The movie stars are still smiling from the wall. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Rozłóż gazetę.
It's an issue of 𝗱𝗶𝗹𝗶 from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Podnieś notatkę.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, A trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes. He closed the rusty...
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Tu właśnie powinna zrobić policja. Co o tym sądzisz, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Jakie widzisz tutaj powiązane ze związkiem?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that 𝗱𝗏𝗏 would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own hands. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
Czy może rozpocznie w tej sprawie dochodzenie?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
Co ci chodzi po głowie?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Korupcja?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
No dobrze, omówienie zakończone?
Debrief over. After you.
Dobra. Czy mogę temu ziomkowi coś zasugerować nowego?
Right to work!
Nie. A jak tam z nim?
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Okazuje się, że ten szczur, co go odwiedziłem, ma nie lada kolekcję kolonialnych kubków.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
Tak, jego kolekcja kubków reprezentowała zdecydowanie przestarzałe wartości społeczne.
Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend.
Spoko. Okej, czyli i im pomogliśmy. Teraz kurwa, jak te zwłoki znieść, nie? To jest cały czas ten sam problem, nie? Jak te pieprzone zwłoki wziąć na dół? Ach, kurde. Zobaczymy, czy coś z tobą mogę zrobić?
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Czy nie jesteś słabakami Hardiego?
I am not.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
To nie wszystko. Co dokładnie masz przeciwko nim?
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful.
Kogo masz na myśli?
Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blob.
Interesting.
Czy Evrart w związku nie jest przypadkiem biały?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this.
Tak, niemniej wciąż mu służysz.
Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only
Komunizm jest całkiem czadowy.
all. Rampant multinational finance.
Nie ma wpływu na to, no, jak myślę.
I am not surprised you enjoy it so much.
Kim są?
The South, we are the future.
Zostałeś urodzony na wyspach?
I am a descendant.
Czyli nie przybyłeś z wysp.
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase.
Czyli nie jesteś tak naprawdę semenem, pochodzisz z Revachol. Czadowo.
Yes, this could have made him more open to discussing the race enigma with you.
Co ty o tym sądzisz? Okej, nie.
There is nothing for
Ja pierdzielę.
He doesn't.
Stop.
He had nothing to do with it.
Also.
He looks toward the...
Dobra, no to tutaj chyba już nic nie ugramy. Kurwa, trzeba iść znowu do tego naszego, kurde, ziomeczka, z którym się teraz ugadaliśmy. Ja pierdziu. Do tego 𝗱𝗶𝗹𝗃𝗀𝗏. To będzie ciężka rozmowa, dobra. W razie czego zrobimy oczywiście save'ika, będziemy nam cisnąć go. Przydałoby się go za język złapać. Tym razem nie siadam na pewno. Błędem było siadanie. Całkowicie zagrałem w jego grę. Rozegrał mnie jak dziecko. Zabawne. To jest dobrze napisana gierka. Podoba mi się to. Cześć Leo. Czy Leo nam sprzeda jakieś informacje? Bo Leo to jest, kurwa, dobry chłopak, nie? Leo się nie pierdoli w tańcu. Siema Leo.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's no trouble at all, mister. No.
Okej. Nic nie masz do powiedzenia ciekawego. Kurde, dobra. No i siema, mister. Wait. Zanim... Napiszmy grę. Tutaj to od razu.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Otworzyłem drzwi, które... Czy możemy porozmawiać teraz o modarstwie?
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble
He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
Wszedłem do środka. Szczur miał na ścianie flagę starego Revacholu.
exactly the kind of fascist memorabilia I was expecting. 𝗲𝗁 probably prays to it every night for the downfall of the Union.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Dzięki, dramaturgia.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
Mówiłeś, że liczysz strajk mają ze sobą powiązane. W jaki sposób?
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
Na razie moje sugestie są takie. Ja wezmę mój podręczny notesik. Na razie moje podewrenie... przepraszam. Titus i 𝗀𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗶. I Evrart, tak? Evrart o tym wie. Więc jakby ciekawe.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
Okej.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in 𝗬𝗎𝗓𝗔𝗍𝗔, 𝗬𝗏𝗔𝗔, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the 𝗬𝗏𝗓𝗔 Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Zaraz, proszę kontener?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
Kto dokładnie zajął się tym odbijaniem?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
To jest przestępczość zorganizowana, oj tak.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
Tak.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, Socialist Democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burned."
No jasne.
He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martin A's boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
Despite his boastful tone, he's having doubts about something. But what? Maybe he doesn't believe the boys really had it in them. They're his boys, after all.
Myślę, że udostępnisz informacje policji, bo nie sądzisz, żeby oni faktycznie to zrobili.
That's very clever, Harry. Yes, they might have said it just to impress some girls or something. But Titus has a bad temper, so the chances are 50-50.
He thinks it's closer to 60-40. 60, they didn't do it.
Skąd wiesz, że najemników wynajęła firma transportowa?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate.
Tak, ale w ogóle ten gościu, ten 𝗬𝗵𝗏𝗰𝗂𝗏 jest... No, mamy informację, że on ma jakieś... ma nowe ubrania, nie pasują na niego. Jest coś faki.
He's not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being here. Strange.
Była tam kolekcja kolonialnych kubków. Znalazłem podobny kubek w śmietniku razem z ubraniem wisielca.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best, helping people, with the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Ale ten szczur mógł posprzątać po zabójcach.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Prawdopodobnie to nie tylko walenie wyimaginowaną pałką.
Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are.
Wspomniałeś coś o prawniczce.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Opowiedz mi o Tytusie Hardim i jego ekipie.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members.
Kurwa, to są moje poglądy, socjaldemokracja. Ajajajajaj. No ale prywatnego wojska nie chciałbym otwierać, nie będę kłamał, to się trochę nie wpisuje to, co ja myślę, nie? Tak szczerze.
But things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
Gdzie mogę ich znaleźć? Sala związkowa Whirling była pusta.
You know what, Harry? I got a feeling they're gonna show up in full force tomorrow.
The lieutenant marks something in his notebook.
Twoje wstawiennictwo mogłoby mi przydać się w przyszłości. Poprosiłbyś chłopaków Hardiego, żeby ze mną współpracowali?
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
When you meet this Titus, tell him about this. See what he has to say.
Okej.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Czekaj, czemu mi to dajesz?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
Nie potrzebuję tego. Chciałem tylko twojej pomocy z chłopakami Hardiego.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was
Okej.
there anything else?
Ciekawa rozmowa. Na razie przeżywimy.
I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Jeszcze?
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Co to ma niby znaczyć? Jestem bardziej po lewej niż
You're
ty.
saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you...
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
Kim? Co o tym sądzisz?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martin A'S, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
Po co te podpisy?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martin A'S. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
Gdzie dokładnie jest to miejsce?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Co się stanie z obecnymi lokatorami?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from 𝗀𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Jesteś na 100% pewien, że nikt nie skończy jako bezdomny?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martin A'S is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martin A'S, not just the harbour.
He means it.
Dobra, jeśli tam trafię, to mogę o nie poprosić.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here, you need to get signatures from 𝗂𝗶𝗹𝗂𝗵𝗂 and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the water lock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, I'll know you're a solid socialist.
Powiedziano mi, że związek ma udział w lokalnym handlu narkotykami.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
Tak.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
Team Harry! Yeah!
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Poznałem Joyce, przedstawicielkę firmy.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Po prostu kumplami?
Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martin A'S. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
Joyce mówiła, że poprzednia przewodnicząca związku zaginęła w tajemniczych okolicznościach.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Zapewne Joyce nie mówiła nic o zapiekance.
Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in its expression or demeanor now.
Co stało z poprzednim negocjatorem, panem Gaumont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
Poczynił ustępstwo na rzecz związku w poprzednich negocjacjach. Czemu kończyć współpracę z takim sojusznikiem?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Nazwałeś go karłem.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Evrart. Nie wiem jak to czyta. Evrart, Joyce. Joyce zdaje się myśleć, że związek z nią pogrywa z tymi nierealnymi żądaniami.
Yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
Zgadzam się.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Czy nie pozwoliłeś się jej z tobą spotkać?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Jesteś pewien? Wydaje mi się, że to trochę dziwne.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
Kurwa, no co za gościu, no. Gościu jest jebanym kuloodpornym ziomkiem, nie? Powiedziałem Joyce, że się poznaliśmy.
It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine.
He seems happy about the prospect of you telling Joyce about your conversations.
Brzmi to jakbyś chciał, żebym opowiadał o naszych rozmowach.
No, Harry. I'm perfectly neutral and 100% for transparency. I know people say a lot of bad things about the 𝗵𝗵𝗿𝗃𝗍𝗓 Union, but we are actually squeaky clean.
Nie ma niczego, co jest nieskazitelne czyste. Nie ma!
Yes, he really doesn't seem to mind. Sure, he thinks. It's about transparency.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Evrart doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Rozmawiamy o mojej zaginionej broni.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Chwila, broń mogła zostać kupiona w Lombardu Roya. Czy twoi ludzie wzięli to pod uwagę?
Yes. Thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed. In fact, now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Czy to znaczy, że jeśli coś dla ciebie zrobił, zyskam swoją broń?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Dobra, ja bym chciał zobaczyć, co się podzieje, jak ruszę temat...
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure
ruszę
as
temat
always.
narkotyków.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry.
Actually, Revachol doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
Okej. Czemu nazwałeś mnie panem Dubois?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Evrart, I call you Harry.
A więc to naprawdę moje imię?
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
Ma pamięć ma się dobrze, sprawdzam ci tylko.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips.
Naprawdę, no. Gościu jest kurwa zły do szpiku kości. Gnój jakich mało, nie? Skurwiol najgorszy.
This word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Aha,
Of course, Harry, of course.
dobra. Zróbmy szybki zapis. Zróbmy normalny zapis jeszcze. Kurwa, ale jaki gnój z niego jest. Takie gówno małe z niego jest. Nie takie małe, ale gówno straszne. Śmierdzi od niego z kilometra.
Let's hear it, Harry.
Dawaj.
As you look at the
Yes.
folder, Evrart covers it with his hand and pets it. Is he trying to hide that it's not a real RCM folder? It
Yes.
certainly doesn't have the RCM stamp on it.
To nie jest teczka moru.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do?
Aj, aj, aj.
That means he doesn't really know anything of a pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
A więc według biura danych osobowych nazywam się Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Most certainly, Harry. By all means, Harry.
Nic mi już nie pomożesz. Kurde. Ja pierdolę, jaki ten gość jest twardy, jak skurwibol, nie? Tak twardy. Jest nietykalny niemalże. Gość jest nieśmiertelny. Ach, ja pierdolę, no. Jak go tam podczepić pod to wszystko, nie? Jak go zniszczyć, jak go dopaść w ogóle do kawałków. Kurwa, no. Nie wiem jeszcze. Wiem, że gra też mi nie daje dużo opcji. Być może te dialogi... Może ten początek spieprzyłem i przez to nie mam dostępu do wszystkich dialogów. Trudno powiedzieć. Ale trudno go przerwać, naprawdę. Trudno do niego dopaść. Tak wiesz, żeby złapać go za rączkę i powiedzieć: haha! On to pogrywa, kurwa. Pogrywa to jak skurczybyk. Zaawansowany skurczybyk. Masakra. No, trzeba rozmawiać z tymi ludźmi. Kolejny raz. Dobra, szybciutki zapis. Teraz robimy tak. Czy ty coś wiesz nowego?
The unpromising race pupil returns. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to correct.
I think this
That will be the...
he will grant us.
Your pedo,
The lieutenant.
you should keep him close. Because
No okej, chuja tam się dowiemy od ciebie.
Hola, Wandering Man.
right to work.
Right to work! Right to work!
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know.
Czy masz
any-
może sprzedaż amoniak?
Yes. What we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself.
Co to jest?
The tear machine stands.
Oh.
Your bottles clunk into the machine.
Aha, wrzuciłem butelki wszystkie, które mam.
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting.
A gdzie są te leki? Tu jest szuflada z lekami? Nie.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles.
Może mi się kiedyś przydać. O, to z lekami?
Small cabinet on the wall. Their logo.
Just ask me if you need anything from 𝗀𝗵𝗵𝗏. We don't stop.
Zdrowie
prescription
plus 3, morale plus 3.
𝗬𝗓𝗓, magnesium and hypnogamma. I don't know. I don't really know what
Nosafed heals +1 health. Dramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 more.
No dobra, czyli tu mogę się tam zaopatrzyć w jakieś inne rzeczy. No spoko.
Looking for something?
Znalazłem w śmietniku ten kubek. To twój?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go.
To twój?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
Okej. By the way, dalej nie zdjęliśmy zwłok, nie?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Za 15? Dobra, weźmiemy.
Kuno could already see.
Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his debt.
Kuno
Dobra. Retoryka, encyklopedia, logika. Dałbym kolejną empatię.
There he still is, looking right through you.
Czekałeś wystarczająco długo. Dobra. I do czego to jest test? Do wytrzymałości. Dobra, mamy spodnie na wytrzymałość. To jest jakaś rzecz. Czy mam jakąś czapkę na wytrzymałość? Przekonywanie. Ciało jako narzędzie. Wytrzymałość plus 1. Dobra, no więcej nie osiągnę. Dobra, ile mamy?
There he still is.
17%, no proszę was. Lecimy! First one. Aj. Dawaj, zdejmij te zwłoki.
There he still is.
Dawaj.
Looking.
Bam! Ha, śmieszne, kurwa, fuj. Ha.
There he still is.
Dawaj, trzeci raz. I nie działa. Dobra, to teraz. Uda się.
There he still
Jest. Nie jest. Dobra, no nie wiem, co z tymi zwłokami zrobić, ale widzę, że te zwłoki są takie dosyć, taki natrętnych raczej. No dobrze, ale to będzie wszystko na dzisiaj. Serdecznie dziękuję za oglądanie. Mam nadzieję, że wam się spodobało. Do usłyszenia, siemanko, no i cześć. Życzę miłego dnia. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie mojego materiału. Mam nadzieję, że wam się podobało. Jeżeli wam się spodobało, pamiętajcie, żeby kliknąć kciuk w górę, zasubskrybować i kliknąć dzwoneczek. Wszystko, aby zawsze być na bieżąco. Jeżeli macie coś do napisania, napiszcie komentarz, dzięki temu będę wiedział, że jesteście, że wam się podoba i przede wszystkim, że chcecie, żeby tych materiałów pojawiało się więcej. Dodatkowo, jeżeli chcecie się wdzięczyć za to, co robię i podoba wam się moja praca, pamiętajcie, że możecie kliknąć w moją nazwę, wejdziecie do strony głównej mojego kanału, kliknąć opcję wesprzyj i za 2 zł, 10 albo 30 zostaniesz wspierającymi według waszej tutaj chęci i potrzeby oddania trochę tej dobroci w moją stronę. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie, trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia i życzę wam miłego. Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję wszelkim wspierającym za to, że jesteście. Dziękuję tym, którzy byliście wspierającymi i dziękuję wszystkim tym, którzy po tym właśnie filmiku zdecydowaliście się na wsparcie. Przede wszystkim to nie jest tak, że wspieracie osobę, która ma tysiące widzów. Wspieracie małą społeczność, której dzięki każdej osobie z was, każdej złotówce, którą mi przelejecie, każdym 2 złotym, które jesteście wspierającymi ptasiakami, za każdą tą jedną osobę bardzo serdecznie dziękuję i za każdą tą złotówkę dziękuję, ponieważ dzięki temu po prostu mam chęci, mam motywację i przede wszystkim mam dodatkowe finanse, które pozwalają utrzymać ten kanał i utrzymać wszystko, co się wokół niego dzieje, włącznie z kosztami prądu, kosztami kupowania nowego sprzętu, kupowania nowych gier i w ogóle całego czasu, które spędzam, czy to nagrywając, czy to streamując i czy to, jeżeli w przypadku wielu sytuacji rozmawiając i wspierając osoby, które w jakiś sposób czują się gorzej. Więc moja działalność jest bardzo szeroka i cieszę się, że doceniacie ją. Jeżeli ktoś z was czuje się gorzej i chciałby ze mną porozmawiać i ma jakieś takie problemy, możecie do mnie napisać, zagadać. Wszystko na Discordzie, a link do Discorda w opisie.